Yes, I have this old book here, Cultureel Mozaïek van de Nederlandse Antillen, and that is the copy used very much, as you can see, by the mother of Monique, by Irene van Herksen, and she is in fact also the mother of this project that we are sitting here together today. What you have there is a Dutch woman who taught art.
It is a wonderful opportunity, and we really thank Irene because she is here. She was a very open-minded person, involved personally with art, and she put many groups and children, many children in contact with art. Many times their first contact. So this is a bit as using us all like instrument for a last artwork.
She was a very strong woman. She was a Mama Barranca. She was very dedicated in art. She really felt that art could teach children very much about life and that it could take you beyond boundaries.
I want to say that Irene is one of the examples what I was talking about, that you can on Curaçao, that island, you can find the spirit, you can find the people who brings a human being together. That is what I think is the important thing that Irene has showed with her work.
She felt that they were all very much representative of their time and their experiences, and particularly of the Antilles. To her, these three men personify the cultural heritage of the Antilles, of Curaçao, of how she experienced it and how she saw it, and how she was inspired to help children and teachers to work with art and creativity.
This is an etch. I make a lot of etching, and this is an etching as a play. People are playing a role, and as you can see, this figure she asked herself, is this figure, is it a human being or is it a machine? This is abstract work, and I started to make this kind of abstract works when our son died. Here in this kind of work, it's a research for myself. What is human being? What is life? I wanted to know what's a human being between life and death. To understand life, to understand what we are doing here in this on this work. I have a lot of abstract work, but I only show you this one. Het is een toneelstuk als het ware van veranderingen. Dus hij is bezig eigenlijk dus een konijn in dit geval, of een dier, een levend wezen, te veranderen. En dan zie je hier dus als het ware die andere figuur, dus de vrouwelijke figuur, is ook bezig als het ware de situatie te scheppen om een verandering tot stand te brengen. Je ziet hier ook dus als het ware stukken van machines, en daar heeft hij dat ook om een andere situatie als het ware te scheppen. Het is het zijn veranderingen. Ik heb telkens veranderingen proberen weer te geven in mijn schilderijen. Het gaat continu om dingen en situaties die veranderen. Dus
mother found it very important to reach out to people who had a message but maybe weren't communicating that message in a way audible to all. She was a teacher. She was a teacher by heart, and she loved educating, and she loved transferring messages, and if it wasn't heard one way, then she said, well, then we'll have to somehow get it heard another way. And she tried to get the messages that these artists were conveying to the people, to children, to people outside of the Antilles, to people there. She gave a lot of art history classes and taught people to look. And I think to her it was very important to be a good person as to these three artists, to try to get messages across. It's all about communication, I guess.
Despite the march of time and technology, modern-day Amsterdam remains a modest yet sophisticated European capital. The city is a focal point of global cooperation, multiculturalism, tolerance, and environmentally driven politics. Despite the enviable and rational pace of the Dutch capital, beneath the surface, demons of racism continue to haunt the city that Anne Frank called home. In 1983, an Antillean immigrant teenager was violently murdered in a racial attack. A statue was commissioned in memory of Kerwin Downmeyer that sits in the heart of Amsterdam's Vondelpark as a community symbol of defiance in the face of intolerance. Throughout Amsterdam, public sculptures are common, but who and what they represent are often obscured by time. Although the tragedy of Kerwin's murder has faded, Nelson Carrillo's sculpture remains firmly planted in the consciousness of the city and the Antillean community.
Here we are in the Vondelpark in Amsterdam, and right now we're seeing the Mama Barranca. That's Mother Rock monument. The universal theme is Mother Earth, but in Curaçao, because Curaçao is a rock island, we call it Mother Rock. It's also the goddess. Mother Rock is the main goddess in Afro heritage, what the slave took to the Caribbean. Kerwin Downmeyer was killed in 1983, and this monument was placed here in the Vondelpark in 1984. This is a commemoration from Kerwin Downmeyer, but it's also against racial killings, and it's also a symbol for the future of Amsterdam, what is more and more a multi-ethnic community. Monument was placed on 20 August. So every year on the same date, there's a big demonstration from the Dam Square to the Vondelpark.
Vandaag willen wij Kerwins dood herdenking met de onthulling van dit monument symboliseren Moeder Aarde, inhoudende standvastigheid, vruchtbaarheid, stabiliteit en eeuwigheid.
This is my first sculpture that I made, the first monument I made was Mama Barranca. So I felt that Curaçao didn't belong in Holland because they didn't know anything from my country here. So I said, the only thing I can do is plant Curaçao here
So
in the
the rock
Vondelpark.
in the Vondelpark.
In the Vondelpark. So it's not, she doesn't have any feet. She's just like, poof.
Yeah.
Put it in the Vondelpark because she belongs here. Sometimes art is not always about reaction. Sometimes you like to make things just out of your feeling. So the mother, the mother, what is very important in our culture, the strong mother will raise the children because the father, due to the economic situation in Curaçao, they had to travel. So the mother was mother and father, and it was so strong a symbolism. I say, okay, then let's put the roots in the middle of Amsterdam in the Vondelpark. So it's a reaction. I call it a reaction monument. When I came here 11 years old, I left a part of me in Curaçao, and a part of me was here in Holland. So when I was living in Holland, I'm an observer. When I go to Curaçao, I'm an observer. And in my art, I also am an observer, but that's very important in my art. I'm always the observer. And now I know that I'm also participating, but in the beginning I was the observer. And when I met him, I feel the same. He was from France and he was in Curaçao, and he had this dedication for art.